guys, Rumble Super Set here, back again with another episode of Clash Royale Reloaded. It's basically where I do replays and I talk about what's going on. Now I'm using this deck again, the one I've used to get from like 800 trophies to about 1700. I'm sitting at currently 1765, the highest I've gone with this particular deck. Let me go ahead and see, so we go to here. So the highest I've gone with this particular deck is 1850 so far. It's still... I generally win more than I lose. Obviously, my trophy count is dropping because I try other decks out and that they don't fare so well, especially when I'm trying to do them for videos. So, doing videos for you guys actually hurts my trophy count, but it's all worth it because you guys enjoy my content and I enjoy you guys being able to just enjoy my content and communicate with me. So that's all fine and dandy. But yeah, so the reason why I'm doing a reloaded episode on this deck, even though I've already made a video on it in general, is because I want to emphasize the relevance of this deck to get your guys' selves from 800 to about 1700 trophies real quick. And the reason why is because I did look up online trying to find a deck. When I was struggling to get past about 1400 trophies, I was like, I can't press on. I don't know what deck is good. So I researched the deck, and I mentioned this before in my other video. I put the proper, reference to the person who made this deck in the description, which I'll do in this one as well. I think it starts with a Avianc's deck or something like that. I don't know. It'll be in the description. But I want to emphasize the fact that this deck is really efficient at gaining those trophies from 800 to 1700 trophies. I've literally used this deck to rank back up every time I drop because I'm doing some other deck. I'm experimenting, whatever. And it works every time. And I really want to see, a lot of you guys are new coming to the game and you want to raise your trophies fast. And this is the way to do it, at least in my opinion. There might be other ways, other decks you can use, but this is the one I use. And I am a prime example of how well it worked because I can show you. I am at 1765 and I just started playing like 2 weeks ago. So let's go ahead and go into the replays. Again, I'm at the higher trophy range now of this deck. I'm at the end of its life, I guess you would say, where I need to start adapting and changing it out a little bit, maybe throwing in a mirror, or maybe doing the elixir collector, I don't know. But we still have a positive win-to-loss ratio. So we have a few defeats in here, but we're going to go over some of the actual matches here. Let's go ahead and go in this one right here. Alright, so he's a level 7, I'm a level 8, so I have a slight advantage here in the level. Maybe not necessarily in card level, but just in level of my towers and my crown tower. I first have the bomb tower, so I'm going to throw that down to kind of throw it off the barbarians. I placed my bomb tower a little bit out of range, which was not necessarily the best. He did get off a little bit of damage on my tower, but it's not too bad. I have my wizard up. I'm probably going to follow up with a dragon or potentially try to get my prince out too, but I don't think I'm going to have enough elixir, so we're just going with this. We are going to get a little bit of damage off with the dragon, but other than that, we're not going to be able to press very hard with this initial push. So he's still technically in the lead, but we're doing fine. So now he has a wizard. I'm going to go ahead and just probably try to fight off this, yeah, there we go, the hog rider with the skeleton army. It's pretty standard. When you throw down a hog rider, the enemy wants to throw down a bomb tower or some kind of defense to distract him, and then he sends out units to kill him faster. For me, that's the skeleton army. So now he has a witch. I'm gonna throw down another bomb tower because the bomb tower is pretty good against the witch. It takes out her skeletons and also does a lot of damage to her, and she focuses on the bomb tower rather than my tower itself. So we're doing pretty good in that regard. Now I'm going to throw down a wizard. I want to throw him way back. The reason why I'm throwing him back is because he takes a while to get there. He's going to probably... Oh, well, no. I guess it's a different match. If I was him, I would have threw a fireball to take out my wizard, personally, but he didn't. So generally what I do is I throw the wizard down far back so that by the time he gets to the center, I have more elixir to cast my prince. And you can see here, it's starting to do a lot of damage. The push is pretty nasty. He did do a fireball, which was good, but it's still going to be taken out on the wizard and the dragon. So now we're definitely in the lead. We're doing some pretty nasty damage to his crown tower too. Excuse me. And now he's throwing down a wizard. We're going to throw down our goblin hut. We want to still maintain presence in this lane. Simply because if he leaves it alone, that damage can add up quite quickly. Again, when they throw barrels too, goblin barrels, that's the reason why, if you know they have it, to keep your arrows on reserve. if you can, because those do a lot of damage if you just leave them alone. So you can see here, look at the damage that these guys are doing on that tower. Like, even though they get killed off, they do a chunk of damage. So you got to make sure you have a counter plan for them, especially if you know they have them. Again, we're just maintaining pressure on the left side, and we're going to start pushing pretty heavy on the right side. So then we place down another Goblin Hut on the right side to keep pressure on that lane as well. They do have a Prince, so I send out the Skeleton Army to counter the Prince. He throws down the Minion Horde, but I throw down arrows to kind of take him out. So now the left side is pushing. He has to address that. He throws a Goblin Barrel, but it's too late. The game is mine, and we won. So a lot of times you want to split push too. Sometimes, like, you can actually just push the lane and focus that one lane and put all your resources into that and just kind of defend the other side. But a lot of times, if you kind of deviate your troops and you do it right, at least, you can actually deviate their attention and then alleviate the one side that you're going to be offensive on, and then they're going to be like out of elixir because they've been addressing the other side. That's why split pushing is pretty good too, but you got to do it right. Sometimes if you split your forces, that means both sides are weak, and he can easily defend one side and then push heavy on the other side himself. But it's just things you got to plan around. Let's go into the next replay here. So we got a defeat. So we had the one victory, we had the defeat. Let's go into this one right here. I'll even go into the defeat for the last match, just so you guys get to know where the flaws of this deck are, so you can kind of learn to adapt to it as well. So I have the Goblin Hut. I didn't have the Bomb Tower, so I started off with the Goblin Hut just to have that pressure again in lane. Like these guys, if you just have them keep going towards the tower, they will do serious accumulated damage over time. It's pretty nasty. I've actually gone to the point where I only had a Goblin Hut on one side and I was pushing on the other, and that tower that the Goblin Hut was on was just as low as the side I was pushing hard on. And it maintained that way for a long time, so it was kind of interesting. Again, I'm doing the normal push with this deck. You want to lay down your Wizard as far back as possible, or start off with your Dragon, depending on what troop you have available to you, and then follow up once they meet center with a Prince. And that can do a lot of heavy damage, and it's hard to fight off because the Prince, the normal counter to the Prince is to throw down a Skeleton Army or a Minion Horde. That's very common, and what that will do is that your Wizard will take those mass troops out and alleviate your Prince from taking all that damage. That's why you want to have them all meet at the center, not be staggered. That's the big strategy of this deck. And then the other side is the Bomb Tower, obviously, is the heavy defensive line. It lasts for a very long time. It does splash damage. Although it doesn't attack air, you have units to attack air for you. So if, for instance, they're throwing a Dragon down to take out your Bomb Tower, or they throw down a Minion Horde to take out your Bomb Tower, Wizard, Dragon, just throw them right next to your Bomb Tower. Not too close where it takes splash damage, but just a little bit off your Bomb Tower so we can hit that flying unit and clear the wave and then push themselves. Again, here's another push. It's the the Wizard with the Prince. He did do a good job fighting it off, but we still have troops ready. They're pushing again. We got one hit off on the Wizard with the splash damage to the tower, but now we're throwing down the Goblin Barrel to do even more damage, which is pretty nasty. Again, we have no defense, so we throw down our Bomb Tower for our defensive line. He throws down a Hog Rider, so I counter with a Skeleton Army. My Bomb Tower survives. We're still strong. We're not doing too bad. This Bomb Tower is going to take out a lot of this right here. So there we go. Now we're throwing in a Wizard, and then a Dragon, and then the Prince. Again, the push is nasty. You can see here. And then he messes up. I don't know why he threw down the Skeleton Army on the left-hand side. I guess he's just desperate to get some kind of push on the left side to possibly make this a tie and go into draw or go into overtime. But I even used I didn't have arrows. I didn't really want to throw down my Dragon, my Wizard, so I threw down my Goblin Barrel to take out the majority of the skeletons on the left-hand side and called it a day. So that's pretty good too. Looking mighty fun. This one I didn't really split push as much. I had a heavy focus on one side. It kind of depends on the situation. It kind of depends on their cards and how they're playing. You got to really adapt to the player you're playing against. But let's go ahead and go into the next one. So we'll do one more victory, then we'll go into the defeat. See how that happens. Alright, so we didn't start off with the bomb tower again. I'm probably going to start off with the goblin hut. So let's go ahead and throw that down. So there we go. Now we're probably going to throw down our dragon or our wizard at this point to kind of go for a push. Unless I might be waiting for something. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing exactly. But in my situation, I'll throw down a wizard or a dragon. And so there's the wizard. Probably follow up with the dragon. And then after that, see, I didn't realize he had a fireball. This is where you learn. The beginning of the game is kind of like the learning phase. You realize he has a fireball, so you have to like plan accordingly with that. He does do a little bit of damage on my left tower. I didn't expect the goblin barrel right away, but I wanted to just immediately remove him. I don't know if that's the most efficient way of using my arrows, but I wanted to remove him just because I didn't want to take that extra damage from even just one minion. I want to remove it completely. So he did a pretty good push here, though. We're not doing so hot so far. Even though we have a lot of damage on the right side on his tower, he's done quite a bit of damage on both my towers, so it's not looking pretty. And he has those musketeers. Those musketeers are really good at taking out the wizard and the dragon as well. So there's another goblin hut. We want to maintain pressure. We have the side already whittled down a little bit, so we want to just keep pressing that. Hopefully we can get to the 1 minute mark, and that's where things get crazy, because then you start having a heavier push and you can start being pretty nasty with the wizard, prince, and dragon push. So here we go. He has the bomb tower too. It's a great defensive item, guys. It definitely lasts a very long time. Again, that fireball, you need to learn. I didn't learn from this particular match, apparently, that you need to go ahead and stop getting hit by fireballs. But I threw down my bomb tower to take out the goblin, or not the barbarians. And then I threw the arrows out to take out the goblin barrels. So we did get the one tower on the right side, while he's like fully committed to taking out my left side. But he did not get it, and he did not even get the fireball to hit my skeleton. So we're gonna do some nasty damage here on the left-hand side, while my spirit goblins from my goblin hut are taking out the crown tower. So here's the combo again, the prince, the wizard, and he does a one hit, and we're gonna go ahead and probably just do a few shots here from the dragon. The wizard's gonna go down. So there goes the musketeer. Throw down the skeletons. We're just keeping the press on at this point. It's getting close to closing out, so I want to just keep the press on as much as I can. I don't want to allow him to have a push, so I'm just throwing down whatever I got when I got it. And I knew he was going to fireball my base, so I just figured I'll just throw down whatever I got. I don't care. He's not going to kill the wizard, whatever. We're just keeping the press on. Well, we won, so it's all good. So that's how you win. Now, let's see how I lose. So, okay, again, I do lose with this deck. It's not that I win 100% of the time, but in general, using this deck will definitely get you to 1,700 trophies. Getting beyond that, it's all going to be about skill and being able to use your cards better than they can use theirs. But yeah, and sometimes they might have better cards in general. So we start off with a goblin hut. Pretty standard. If I don't have a bomb tower, it goes goblin hut. If I don't have both, then I kind of generally just try to start with a dragon or a wizard, because they're slow and it allows me to build up elixir in the time being. So he's doing a really heavy push here, and it's a very good push because I cannot fight off enough. So he does do quite a bit of damage to my tower here, almost half of my health, or actually more than half of the health of the tower. And I only got a little bit of the health taken down on his right tower, so we're not doing so hot. We have the dragon, so we can probably throw that down, throw it in the very back because it's pretty far back. This lightning spell is the one that's gonna kill me. It is nasty because he can constantly just spam that thing as soon as I throw down a heavy troop, and it almost takes him out. We're doing some damage though, but he still has an advantage here. That freeze that he has, and then that lightning spell that he has, keeps my troops in check, and also keeps my defensive line in check, because he can just freeze my bomb tower. He can lightning strike my bomb tower, since it's generally going to be fairly close enough to where he can strike the tower and the bomb tower at the same time with that one single spell. So like if he cast it right in between the left tower and the bomb tower, he would freeze it and also lightning strike them at the same time. And any troops I send out will also get hit by that if it's at the same time. We do take out the barbarians here in a little bit. Again, like these lightning strikes are deadly. Like they're destroying me. And so I had to throw out the skeleton army. Even though it's against the wizard, I had no choice. Like I really had to do something about it. We're at the 1 minute mark now though, so the lecture starts to speed up. So maybe I was hoping that I can start to turn this around. This left tower though, it looks scary because I know he's going to keep pressing it. And at this point, I had to throw down the goblin hut to deviate the attention of the hog rider. There was no choice there. I had to do it. I didn't have a bomb tower, so I had to throw down the goblin hut in exchange. So now I'm trying to push for dear life. I have the dragon prince combo, but no wizard yet. So it wasn't as strong as it needed to be. But now I'm trying to just whittle down the right tower to make this a tie. I know that tower is going to go down. I want to whittle down the tower on the right-hand side as much as I can, but I just can't. Now what he's doing is now he's focusing all his forces on the right side because he knows he has a lightning spell. And he knows that as soon as the clock's over, he'll lightning spell and it's done. It's already set up for his victory. So I need to push that tower, but I couldn't. He was too good. And that's another weak point. The lightning spell seems to be a major counter to this deck. Now let's go ahead and find out. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and find out when you get the lightning spell, so we can kind of determine when this deck starts to have a little bit of trouble. If I can get back to my game, it's sitting at 92%. Okay, well we'll go ahead and close, and then open back up. There we go. All right. Excuse me. So, Arena 6, you don't get it. You get it at Arena 5. So that's at 4. No, that's a zap, not lightning. Lightning. Lightning, you actually get it at level 1, but a lot of people don't use it, it seems, until later in the arenas. Like, I did not have a single person use lightning spell. Maybe like one every like 15 matches, if that. They would generally use arrows or fireball. Those are the very standard spells to use in Arena 1 through probably 4 or even 5. Lightning spell starts to be a little bit more prevalent in Arena 5, but I would definitely say that you're pretty safe until about Arena 5, Arena 6. That's when lightning spells start to be a little bit more prevalent. They get poison as well. Poison is a little bit like nasty as well because it can just slowly take down your defenses, but it's not as bad as lightning. Lightning definitely hurts. Another one to watch out is definitely the X-Bow. The X-Bow can definitely take out our defensive line quite easily because the bomb tower has no range to take out the X-Bow. But if you see an X-Bow, I highly suggest throwing down your bomb tower to take the hit instead of your tower. Or if you have a giant in this deck, I have had a giant in this deck before, you can throw down the giant to kind of get yourself to get to the X-Bow and have your troops back them up to take it out. That's another threat to this particular deck. As far as anything else, freeze can be a nasty one. So Arena 4, when you hit Arena 4, freeze can be nasty. So that's 1,200 trophies. So at 1,200 trophies, you have to worry about freeze. But they don't use it so much to where you have to worry about it like intensively. I mean, it's used in moderation. I see it like in maybe every like 5 or 6 games. Once in every 5-6 games. Lightning spell even less until you get to Arena 7 or Arena 6. But yeah, so definitely check out the deck if you haven't already. If you want to rise from 800 to 1700, this is how I did it. I made another video because I want to emphasize that if you guys want to raise your trophies, this is how to do it. This is the deck to use, in my opinion. But yeah, so I showed you how to use it. I showed you how to lose. And what are the risks of this deck? So lightning spell, X-Bow, potentially just spells in general can really hurt it. So like freeze, lightning, and then maybe even fireball can be a nasty one too, but it's not as much of a problem as lightning spell. So fireball, you're generally okay because they're going to keep that fireball in case you have hordes of troops, or if excuse me, I'm hiccuping a lot in this episode, or if you dual goblin barrel, they'll generally fireball it. So for the most part, that's not really a concern. It's just lightning spell, freeze, and poison, if that. And then expo. So definitely look out for those. But other than that, you guys should be safe, and you guys should be rising to 1,700 trophies using this deck. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comment section down below. Okay, I don't have this troop. What do I replace it with? And I can go ahead and help you out and let you know. Okay, and in the case that you don't have this specific troop, like for instance the wizard, a lot of people don't have that in the low arenas, you can go with the witch. If you don't have the witch, you can go with the bomber. But in that case, you don't have anti-air with a bomber, so therefore you need to have a musketeer in your deck. But yeah, that kind of stuff I can let you know. Let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later!